Good morning. I'm joined here with Dennis Congas, who is an academic advisor in the Office of First Year Advising and Exploration. I'm Courtney Demings, also an academic advisor in First Year Advising and Exploration. And we're going to cover this morning our major exploration program and how we can better help our undeclared students. So Dennis, what is your academic background?
Well, I started out at Kent State University being undecided and no goals, flunked out. Went back about 6 years later when I was ready for school up to Cleveland State, and I graduated with a bachelor's in social science. Then I went to Indiana University for my master's work and got a master's in college student personnel administration, counseling and guidance. Worked in a residence hall field for about 3 years and went back and did my doctorate work at Indiana in higher education.
Okay, so now you're here at University of Central Florida helping students. So how important is major exploration?
I think it's very important. It's hard to progress toward a goal if you haven't set a goal. And a good way to set a goal is to search out a major that you have a passion for and an interest in. And you know why you're doing all this work and learning all this information. You can also see how it's going to be relevant after you graduate.
Okay, thank you. Is it okay for a student who's thinking about, I came into college, I'm undeclared. Is it okay to be undeclared?
Well, I've been advising undeclared students for many years, and I may be biased, but I think it is a huge advantage to come in undeclared. We know from the research, when we research undeclared students, that more of them take fewer classes that they don't need. They have higher GPAs. They do more career testing. They gather more information about majors before they make their decision. They change their majors fewer times, and more of them graduate on time in 4 years. So I think it's a huge advantage to come in undeclared. And I have a joke that I use that the other students who aren't undeclared are coming in guessing.
Well, that certainly brings some light on what it is to be an undeclared student. So what's the step for the undeclared student? What's the first step that they should take in their major exploration process?
At orientation, they do something called My Plan, which is a career-oriented test for freshmen. And there are 4 subtests, and they take one of those subtests during orientation. And then we encourage them strongly to take the other 4, and then bring that information to the academic advisor. And lay out those sheets and see where their natural interests are. Which careers do their personality types fit? What are their skills that they're bringing in? And what are the work values they want to get out of their work setting? Then we have a direction, because that narrows it down to 1, 2, or 3 career areas where they have a natural interest and ability to seek out and explore and see if it truly is for them. And UCF has many introductory classes also in those majors, so they can check it out and see, do I really want to do this when I graduate from UCF? And I tell students that in the United States, people change careers 2 to 3 times before they retire. So just because you pick a career and you start when you graduate from UCF, you probably aren't going to be there when you retire. So don't feel locked into anything. You're going to pick up a lot of skills that are transferable to other careers.
So essentially what you're saying is that it is okay for a student to come in and pick a major, and that might not be their lifelong career path.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Okay. What should a student do if they are currently in a major that they don't know if they really want that major?
Okay. We're going to be flying blind, so to speak, without career testing. If they find this major really isn't my cup of tea, let's get some career testing. Let's find out where your interests and your abilities and your values and your personality type match well. 1 or 2 or 3 areas, and we can do some exploration. The Career Services has programs for any career. Students can find out job descriptions. In other words, what do these people really do every day on the job? Find out how much money the career makes upon graduation or with experience. What kind of degrees do you need to get into that particular major or career? And what's really important, especially for parents, are there going to be jobs when you graduate? Okay. Or if you want to go to graduate school, law school, professional school, what do you need in order to increase your chances of admission.
If a student comes to you and says, I'm not really sure about where my passions are, how would you suggest that they figure that out?
Well, I'm very biased toward career testing because I've been working with it for many, many years. And there's a series that students can take. It's not just one. But we encourage students in first year to begin with My Plan. If they're not satisfied with the results, or not completely comfortable, we refer them to career services, where they have a battery of different tests, and they meet with a career counselor so they don't waste their time and decide which test is going to get them the information that they need the most. And then they meet with a career counselor after they take whatever tests are recommended, and they interpret them, and then translate that into coursework, majors, class schedules at UCF.
Do you think that there is a timeline that a student should be working with in terms of when they should actually declare a major?
We have found that retention is highest if students declare that major by the middle of the sophomore year. After that, they begin to flounder, and more of them will drop out.
Okay.
But the best time to begin is at orientation and the first semester. Start gathering that information about what major you are best suited for.
Good. What resources does UCF have to offer?
Well, first of all, first year advising. Students, the whole first year will always have face-to-face contact or opportunity for face-to-face contact with an academic advisor. Anytime they make an appointment, they can come and see us, unless they wait 2 or 3 weeks for registration and we're jam-packed. They can email us at any time. Many of us will answer emails several times a day, but we do answer our emails. There's also career services. If you want to meet with a professional career counselor, they're available. All they have to do is go call for an appointment, and they will meet with a career counselor. Also in career services, they have experiential learning, where a student can spend a day with somebody in a career that looks interesting to them, but they're not sure what they really do. So they go meet with a UCF alumni and spend a day as an accountant, for example, or as a doctor, or a teacher, to see what really happens. It's called shadowing. They can get an internship in a particular profession. You can spend some time, and many of them are paid, actually find out what happens, over a period of a series of months in this particular major or career. What do people really do? There are part-time jobs. We encourage students, if you're not sure about a career, get a part-time job. See what it's like, 10, 15 hours a week, and then pick the brains of the people above you, your supervisors and their managers. What's this career like? What are the opportunities? There's many different things a student can do if they're truly interested in finding a major that they are best suited for.
So what I would lead into then, utilizing creativity within as we know, that's one of the tenets of UCF's creed. So utilizing creativity by being someone who's proactive, by going into the major exploration process, by utilizing those shadowing opportunities is how a student would better use that.
Exactly right. Don't just use one resource. There are many available. After all, the student is the one that has to get out of bed every day and be interested in that career when they graduate. So let's make sure it's one that they have a passion for.
Okay. Another area within our creed is excellence. So what does excellence look like for an undeclared student?
I think that's more self-defined. For some students who are coming in marginally prepared, excellence for them, at least in the beginning, might succeed. Okay, I'm coming back the next semester or the next year. And then look to refine their skills for learning, for example, so they can begin to move up into BC or higher category. And then maybe a few actually want excellence. And it depends on how you define it. Some students define it as A's or 3.5 or above. Okay. Many students have to work while they're in school. So excellence might be a balance between a lower class load and success in the work setting. So it depends on how it's self-defined, and academic advisors can help them define that.
Okay, very good. So definitely wanting students to define excellence at the beginning of the semester for themselves.
Certainly. If that is a goal, absolutely. You don't know if you've reached a goal or not if you never set one. You're just kind of wandering. Okay? This moves you in a direction.
Very good. Is there anything else that you can think of?
I take pride in your education. Some students look at it like it's a right. It's not. It's an opportunity to succeed. The university doesn't owe you anything except to create the opportunities for you to succeed and learn. They need to take advantage of that. And I think when students have that attitude, they are much more likely to be successful.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Congas, for your time.
This podcast has been brought to you by the UCF Creed and the Parent and Family Fund.